All right. Want to make sure that's in frame. A little ice cream. Reminds us to not be too serious about everything. All right. All right, everybody in YouTube world, thank you for watching this video. My name is Drew Detzner. I'm the owner here at 3D Wellness. I'm also a clinician. I'm in my 17th year of being a clinician, helping people support their health safely and naturally for or without the need for drugs and surgery. This is the third part in a 4-part series on breathwork, and today's focus is on digestion. I also want to talk about our nervous system and how our nervous system interacts with our digestive tract. For everybody who usually watches this on Zoom, we're having some technical difficulties with Zoom this morning. So sorry about that. We'll get that fixed right away. Let's go through this. 3D Wellness believes that there are 3 areas of knowledge that can dramatically improve one's life: breathwork, supplementation, and food. In this class, we will focus on breathwork. This is the third in a 4-part series about breathing. We will focus on getting our body in a state where digestion is optimized. There are a few quotes from the book Breath, that's this one, that I will share with you, and then I'll be practicing breathing to optimize digestion. At any point, if you feel lightheaded, return to normal breathing. If you have any medical conditions that would be negatively stimulated by breathwork, please just follow along instead of participating in the exercises. Safety first. This is powerful stuff. That's for everybody at home who's going to practice this, and for the butts in seats, everybody, and myself included. Some quotes from Breath. The perfect breath is this: breathe in for about 5.5 seconds, then exhale for 5.5 seconds. That's 5.5 breaths a minute for a total of about 5.5 liters of air. You can practice this perfect breathing for a few minutes or a few hours. There's no such thing as having too much peak efficiency in your body. So that's a pretty slow breath compared to what most people do, and that's a much deeper breath, as a quote here is going to point out to us, than most people do. It turns out that when breathing at a normal rate, our lungs will absorb only about 1/4 of the available oxygen in the air. The majority of that oxygen is exhaled back out. By taking longer breaths, we allow our lungs to soak up more in fewer breaths. So sometimes it's more about quality than it is quantity. The earliest orthodontic devices weren't intended to straighten teeth, but to widen the mouth and to open airways. I think that is such an interesting thing. They weren't worried about the aesthetics of the mouth. They were more interested in structurally, is this face okay? And that meant doing something that would influence the airways. For every 10 pounds of fat lost in our bodies, 8.5 pounds of it comes out through the lungs. Most of it is carbon dioxide mixed with a bit of water vapor. The rest is sweated or urinated out. This is a fact that most doctors, nutritionists, and other medical professionals have historically gotten wrong. The lungs are the weight-regulating system of the body. All the more reason to make sure we do a good job breathing. We've become a culture of overeaters. We've also become a culture of overbreathers, with an average intake per breath of 1/2 liter. Now that's about half the volume as it was in 1960 for a person taking a breath. Part of what that tells us is that we're breathing more and taking in less. That earlier quote points out the slower we breathe, the more oxygen we actually harvest from that breath. So we got to slow down. The fix is easy. Breathe less. But that's harder than it sounds. We've become conditioned to breathe too much, just as we've been conditioned to eat too much. With some effort and training, however, breathing less can become an unconscious habit. I can speak for myself on that. I used to be a mouth breather, now I'm a nose breather. It is an unconscious choice at this point. Took some practice. Took some days where I felt like I kept forgetting to do it, but now it's just what I do. But the changes triggered by the rapid industrialization of farmed foods were severely damaging. Within just a few generations of eating this stuff, modern humans became the worst breathers in Homo history. The worst breathers in the animal kingdom, which is a huge bummer because we're supposed to be some of the smartest in the animal kingdom. Why are we messing up something that is so fundamental? So, for the sake of digestion, we're going to practice something called alternate nostril breathing. And I want to real quick jump into what this actually does physically in your body, because often people hear about natural remedies or natural supports for things, and the science behind it isn't explained, so it seems like woo-woo, or it seems like a nice idea. This is a nice idea, and here's some science behind what happens when we alternate nostril breathe. There's a part of our body that's called the ENS, the enteric nervous system. It's also considered our second brain. If you've ever had butterflies in your tummy about something, that was your ENS sending you a signal, your gut brain, so to speak. It is made of over 100 million nerve cells between our esophagus, which is that pipe the food falls down, into our stomach, followed by our small intestines, all the way through the end of our large intestines. Those 100 million nerve cells exist there. They make up the enteric nervous system. Now, here's an important thing. Just having an enteric nervous system is not enough. We have to make sure it is communicating with our central nervous system. Central nervous system is what allows me to walk back and forth in front of this dry erase board. When you drive your car to steer the wheel, it's that kind of stuff. We need that system to speak with this system. That means we have to be in a parasympathetic state. And if you've been in previous workshops, one of the best ways to get your body into the relaxed parasympathetic state is through breath work. This style of breath work is especially good at supporting a healthy parasympathetic state in your central nervous system, which allows it to communicate with your enteric nervous system. And then we get all the benefit of those nerve cells in the second brain. The biggest thing that has happened for me in doing this style of breath work for digestion, I eat less at meals and I feel just as satiated. It's a very interesting thing. Here's how we do it. Using one nostril at a time stimulates the part of the brain responsible for signaling the release of digestive juices. That only happens when you are in a parasympathetic state. Consciously choosing to breathe differently can have benefits beyond digestion. Many clients report having a newfound awareness of how tense they are when using alternate nostril breathing. Another thing that happens when we're in a parasympathetic state, we are comfortably aware of our body. So I wonder if the clients are like, oh, I became aware of that tension. They became aware of it because their body relaxed enough they could see it. So here's how we do it. You're going to exhale completely, and then you use your right thumb to close your right nostril. Inhale in through the left nostril, then close the left nostril with your right index finger. Open the right nostril and exhale through this side. Then inhale through the right nostril, then close this nostril, open the left one, and exhale through the left side. So if you go in on the right side, then you're going to go out on the left and back in on the left, then over to the right for an in-out, back and forth like that. This is really good for your brain. This kind of breathing is really good for your brain. So I'm going to set up my metronome, and we are going to practice this. What I will do is call out things like right in, right out, left in, left out, so that we can do the pattern, the correct pattern. Yeah, that's a good tempo. So, as much as you can, Find an easy breath. It's tough when you know you're about to do some kind of breathing exercise. What we're going to do is we're going to go in on the right nostril and then out on the left. So we're starting with in right. In 1, 2, ready, go. In, 2, 3, 4, out, left, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, right, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, left, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. All right. How's that feel so far? Is that weird?
Yes.
That's pretty weird, right? It stimulates your brain in a very interesting way. It is different than the other patterns that we've done, like the 4-7-8 pattern. This is different than that. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit to make it a little bit easier for us to do. And then we're just going to practice going right in, and then we'll do out on the left. All right, that's going to be our tempo. We're going to go right in. 1, 2, ready, go. Right in, 2, 3, 4, left out, 2, 3, 4, left in, 2, 3, 4, right out, 2, 3, 4, right in, 2, 3, 4, left out, 2, 3, 4, left in, 2, 3, 4, right out, 2, 3, 4, right in, 2, 3, 4, left out, 2, 3, 4. Good. How's that feel?
It's different.
It's definitely different.
A little lightheaded.
Yeah. In the other workshops, we've definitely done longer stretches right out of the gate. And this one, you start with really short. This is not the kind of breath work I would say we would warm up if we were getting into doing breath work regularly. We wouldn't warm up with this style of breath work. It would be once we are warmed up. So, best you can, resume a normal, natural breath. Feel your belt buckle move when you breathe. And, for all of you enjoying this at home, maybe you're on your couch, make your sweatband of your sweatpants move, your pajama pants where you tied the bow, make that move. I'm going to speed it up again, which sounds like it would be more challenging, but it makes it easier. Just so we can get some more reps in with this and see if we can go a little bit longer with it. Okay? So that's our new tempo. We're starting with right in when we start, then left out. And in the next group, 1, 2, ready, go. Right in, 2, 3, 4, left out, 2, 3, 4, left in, 2, 3, 4, right out, 2, 3, 4, right in, 2, 3, 4, left out, 2, 3, 4, left in, 2, 3, 4, right out, 2, 3, 4, right in, 2, 3, 4, left out, 2, 3, 4, left in, 2, 3, 4, right out, 2, 3, 4, left in. Woo! How's everybody doing?
It took me a while to figure the coordination in the beginning.
There's a bit more coordination required for this one.
Yes.
Yes. And there's definitely a clear physical effect that takes place when you do it. But right now would be a great time, well, probably like 5 or 10 minutes, for you to have food, because your body is primed for that kind of thing. It's a really cool thing. This is something that usually we only need to do for a total of about 5 minutes. Usually within 5 minutes, you can go through 12 cycles, 12 in and out on each side. The way that I look at it is if I'm making something for dinner, like, okay, so the other night we had strata for dinner. And after you take that out of the oven, you have to let it sit before you cut into it. Otherwise, it gets all squishy and flat. Then it's not as good. So while we're sitting there waiting for that time to elapse, that's a great time to do breath work. Just work it into how you're prepping your food. And then your body is ready for that digestion.
Grace is taking
Right? There's an interesting write-up, I'm glad you mentioned that, in Breath, where he talks about some of the most famous prayers in the world from all sorts of different sects of religions, all have an approximate tempo that does the 5.5 breaths a minute. If you say all the things and then breathe in slowly, yeah, that's interesting. All right, so that's alternate nostril breathing. It's powerful. It's really good for your digestion because it's linking up your central nervous system with your enteric nervous system. Thank you, everybody, for watching this and for being here in person. Oh, you got a question?
Yeah, what
Right on.
tempo is that? That you would suggest before a meal?
Before a meal, 96 beats per minute. And that's in 4-4. So we're going in 4, out 4. Yeah, you're welcome. We'll see you soon.